These arcs are created by my homemade power supply for my Tesla Coil. It's made almost purely out of recycled appliances and parts from the dump. But despite that, it turned out to be one of the scariest projects I've done so far, and I'm going to show how it was done. This right here is a microwave transformer. If you have a microwave, you also have one of these. They output high voltage at a high current, which is needed to supply whatever magic goes on creating the microwaves. And as you can see, they produce a pretty mean arc. But if you connect them in series, they can become much more powerful. And that's what I've done with my power supply. When I take off the current limiters, it outputs at 14 kilovolts and can supply more than an amp. And if it weren't for its toxic gas production and execution level voltages, I actually think it'd be a pretty cool light source. To supply its massive power draw, I can't just plug it into the wall. It's connected to this cursed 240 volt 100 amp breaker. I connected this breaker to this outlet, which then I split into 6 different extension cords and run it out to the industrial switch. The switch then runs 3 different housing wires to the power supply. This all might seem overkill, but surprisingly this was much cheaper than the alternative, and saving $300 by making it myself feels so good. On that note, each one of these transformers came from a single microwave. That means I had to get and take apart at least 16 microwaves for this. But luckily, I didn't have to spend $1,200 buying microwaves. That's because half of them I salvaged from the dump, and the rest I bought from Goodwill and Facebook Marketplace for like almost nothing. And a nice thing about using microwave transformers is that microwaves are gold mines for components. Just taking apart a single microwave can supply you with a few projects worth of basic components. Alongside the transformer, it contains high voltage capacitor, a magnetron, and a circuit board containing various capacitors, resistors, relays, and plenty of wires. So, why did it take 16 microwaves to build? Well, there are 6 transformers creating the high voltage. 2 of them are acting as isolation transformers, and the other 8 are used as current limiters. But I usually only use the current limiter transformers for the Tesla Coil, and I mainly run the Jacob's ladders without the current limiting. Now about the Tesla Coil I've been referring to. It's a spark gap Tesla Coil made mostly with scavenged parts and materials from hardware stores. I haven't finished it due to problems with the capacitors, but it'll definitely deserve its own video once finished. But in the meantime, even with it running at 10% power using broken capacitors, it creates those beautiful lightning looking arcs. I hope to show that you don't need lab equipment or expensive components to have a hobby in electronics. Although it often takes quite a bit of learning and effort, making something cool is usually much more accessible than it may seem. Here's a schematic. I have 3 microwave transformers for each the positive and negative side. And the thing about mine, which I haven't seen with other builds, are these isolation transformers right here. These things allow me to chain 3 microwave transformers together without the third one exploding. And from what I've seen, if the voltage gets above like 5,000 volts across the secondary ground, the microwave transformers tend to cook themselves. So I have these 1-to-1 isolation transformers so that the metal core of the third transformers can be at the output of this transformer. This reduces the secondary of the secondary to core voltage to what it'd be normally. This isn't a very elegant way to increase the voltage past the breakdown voltage of the transformers, but I think it is the best way when only using components and equipment like this.